Diamonds may be a girl's best friend, but fashion is for everyone. And today we are going to discuss how Dolce & Gabbana can implement communication to be the new black in the fashion industry. It all started in mid-November of 2018 when Dolce & Gabbana released 3 ads titled Chopsticks that proved to be offensive within Asian culture. Ultimately, it led to canceling the major Shanghai fashion show that was being promoted in these commercials and resulted in Dolce & Gabbana losing credibility within the fashion industry and struggling to communicate with their target audiences to rebuild that loyalty. The current industry standing for Dolce & Gabbana goes as such. Financially, Dolce & Gabbana brought in $1.4 billion in 2017 to 2018, while competitors such as Gucci and Versace were racking in up to $7 billion that same year. So financially, Dolce & Gabbana is not competing up to par with the rest of the industry. Socially, Dolce & Gabbana in 2018 went from 350 ranking to a 500th ranking out of 1,000 in Asia for top luxury brands. This is because Dolce & Gabbana has lacked in keeping up with their target audiences and building that loyalty that they need to remain competitive. Within the publicity, Dolce & Gabbana has increasingly received negative publicity, off and on since 2007, based on the PR scandals they've had, receiving only a 45% positive sentiment rating, while competitors such as Gucci is at a 79% positive sentiment rating when consumers are thinking about these two brands in a positive way. Here is a chart explaining the industry analysis. You can see that Gucci, Michael Kors, and Louis Vuitton all have positive outlooks on their brands, while Dolce & Gabbana is struggling behind them. For brand recognition that we found in a quantitative study that we've conducted, we found that 31% of consumers instantly recall Gucci to be a luxury brand they first think of, followed by Michael Kors and Louis Vuitton. Dolce & Gabbana as 5% was the least or the lowest rating we had based on the quantitative study we've completed. The research process that we've implemented included determining the root of the issue, and for us, Dolce & Gabbana has been struggling to remain brand loyalty and even struggling with their communication strategies on how they can effectively communicate with target audiences in order to build their ROI. Step 2 was to identify those target audiences. Step 3, we would figure out the appropriate research methods that we will discuss soon in this presentation. And step 4, what did the data that we've collected or will collect help us with, and how will they eventually lead to an effective communication intervention that will help Dolce & Gabbana reach their SMART objectives? Here are the implemented and suggested research methods. For quantitative research, we have already conducted consumer insight survey. So we use this method to gather demographic information, understand what consumers value in clothing, and determine the competition in the industry. We are suggesting that Dolce & Gabbana implement focus groups. This will help gather in-depth reasoning behind why consumers shop certain brands, and ultimately, what are the main aspects of that brand that cause consumers to switch brand preferences and build loyalty with those brands, as well as depict why consumers value certain aspects of luxury brands or clothing. Survey findings we found in our quantitative study that we thought were most significant included that style and quality were the changes ranked as the main reason why consumers are willing to switch brand preferences. We've also found that the internet platforms were the preferred shopping methods for consumers when shopping for their luxury brand items. And what was very interesting in other research that we've done was 32.3% claimed that heritage representation wasn't important. So in our qualitative studies, we can further delve into this and try to understand what about chopsticks was most offensive. Was it the culture or something else or another aspect that we can avoid in future communication material? The overall focus, based on the research we found, came down to brand recognition and effective communication messages. Dolce & Gabbana is currently struggling to become a recognizable brand in the industry, and they have failed to effectively convey communication messages to their target audiences. So we plan on implementing several tools that will help with these two areas. And that brings us to our two prongs communication intervention, beginning with cultural awareness quarterly trainings, where employees of Dolce & Gabbana will go to trainings concerning cross-cultural communication and provide insight how to communicate to target audiences from different backgrounds. The second part would be to implement e-commerce and social media campaigns. Social media campaigns that will highlight upcoming lines and product changes, and this will be developed to target the younger demographics in Asia and the US. This will also increase brand awareness for Dolce & Gabbana and will have a high ROI based on the reach we will get through e-commerce. Furthermore, we have developed smart objectives we believe will be achieved with our two-pronged communication intervention, beginning with building brand awareness by 20% by September of 2020 with the help of our social media campaigns, implementing employee trainings each quarter on cultural etiquette approaches to improve positive sentiment ratings, as well as reintroduce a product line with the qualities that speak most to consumers to increase revenue by 9% by the end of the fiscal year. So we will be increasing ROI financially and brand loyalty in the end. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, and we thank you for your time.